KFAN, The Fan.
The true talent has entered the building.
Ouch.
Yeah, Alexis.
Ouch. All right, I gotta go, guys.
And Alexis are here.
Marney, Alexis, Marney.
It's a talent windfall that we have going on in there. Unbelievable.
How about Alexis showing up in a Timberwolves sweatshirt?
How about that?
She's bandwagon.
The haters said I would never do it, but I did.
Yeah.
Oh, how come you don't have a Wild sweatshirt on supporting their 10-7 win? You don't have one?
She's wearing Wolves colors, though. She's supporting the Wolves today.
That's right. I actually, I probably have a Wild sweatshirt. I don't know if I have a Wild sweatshirt.
You probably do. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you
we
got
gotta
them at
rectify
Spiels,
that.
you know what
I
I mean?
have 800 Timberwolves hoodies.
I'll go buy you one.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Right.
Is there something wrong with my chair?
That's the Tommy chair.
You're low riding?
Yeah, yeah.
Does it go up?
Yeah.
That chair!
Okay. So we got Alexis for what? Another half hour or so?
30 or
Right?
so.
Yeah, good.
Then I gotta get a dryer.
Yeah, understood.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Like an appliance?
Yeah.
Dryer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got a guy.
Oh, we got a guy, too. We got it taken care of.
They got one coming. They're
Yeah,
good.
it's coming at 8 a.m.
That's why she's got to be there.
Yeah.
Boy, you are an adult.
I know.
Yeah,
You're
it's
getting
over.
old.
It hurts.
It happens.
hurts.
It does happen. It's better than the opposite sometimes.
It's better than being eaten by a hippo or dying of bleeding hemorrhoids.
Yeah,
We've
boy.
established
Or
that in the 6
surviving of
o'clock
bleeding
hour.
hemorrhoids.
Or surviving.
Yeah.
Which Hawk did.
He did.
I did not.
But he
In
did
our
seem
story.
tired.
In the story I did, but
Would you like to do the news?
apparently.
This is KFAN News with Chris Hockey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, good to see you guys.
Hey, Hawk Steady.
Hello, Badger.
Hello, Badger.
What is that? Oh, yeah. You answered that earlier.
This lady's house got wrecked by a badger in England, but it didn't matter. The story doesn't matter, but her saying
Hello, Badger.
is all I can think of. There we go. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot stands at $493 million.
Milligan?
That's right.
Marnie's not interested.
No.
Have we ever asked Alexis's opinion on this?
What?
Where do you stand? Are you interested in winning? What was it? 490? What?
493.
Are you interested in winning $493 million, or is that too much of a burden?
A burden?
Where do you stand on, like, would you take the 493, or is that too much money to have?
I'd take the 493.
Just checking. Okay.
I'm not going to go buy a Powerball ticket, but like,
What?
I'd like $493 million.
You're pretty risk averse. You don't like to gamble?
I'm not a huge gambler. I like watching other people gamble. I'm all in on like rooting for other people to win money, but I don't like spending my money.
All right. So Muss and Marnie are in the camp that they'd rather have like a nice 3 or 4 million, a quiet
I'd
3 or
blow
4
through
million.
that. No, I'd blow through
Instead
that.
of winning the 400.
Yeah.
All right.
I see
No,
where you're coming from.
your family's safety comes into play. When you start talking
you
about
make
the
a good
hundreds
point.
of
Yeah.
millions.
Oh, and
I'm
just
not
like people
willing-
wanting things from you. Yeah. No, I hear you.
Yes.
He doesn't want the burden.
Yeah.
I'll
I
take
just want the
Yep.
5
Give
million.
me the
I'll take it. Again, win the 400 million. The Gellner family takes the 5 million. You spread the other 395 million amongst the Power Trip Morning Show members. I'll
Seems
take as
like
much
it
as
would
you're
work.
willing to give me.
Okay. Seems like it
Chris
would work.
agrees, Sauce
That's a
agrees,
good
Max
plan.
agrees, Zach
take it,
agrees.
man.
We'll all take the rest.
We're getting
You take
the
the
pool.
5.
Then Hawk and I are going to the casino.
I'm buying all the pools. If you
And
give
turning
me.
it into $800 million.
Yeah, right, Hogs?
damn right. That's how we roll.
So you said
Just
that
give it to Des Bryant.
that's tonight, right? The Powerball. Or
Powerball's tonight?
Powerball's tonight.
Yeah, Mega Millions jackpots tonight, and then Mega Millions tonight. Powerball is tomorrow night, and that is $348 million.
Okay, well, that's a waste of time. If the other one's 390.
That's a waste of time.
I don't have time for that one.
Not sure if any of you have been to New York lately, but if you have, look down. Investigators are trying to figure out how they found a leg in the New York City subway. They don't know who it belonged to, but if you're missing one,
Chris!
Yeah, we've made too many jokes like that today, Marnes. You went over the line.
It's not her fault. She hasn't exceeded her quota.
Sorry, Daddy.
fine.
I just got here.
I was going to yell at you, but I'm reading something.
The NYPD says a human leg was found Saturday along the northbound 4 line in the Bronx. It's not clear who it belonged to. And the full story has not been revealed as to what happened.
I just want to know who leaves the scene where your leg is not attached to your body. I mean, at least bring it with you.
Well, that's the scary thing, right?
Somewhere.
Right, that's the scary thing. Is my guess is the first thing they did was check hospital records and say, has anyone been admitted missing a leg or losing a leg? My guess is this is a news story because they didn't have anybody go to the hospital that was missing a leg.
Nope.
And if I saw someone come off the subway with just one leg, I'd be like, are you okay?
But in New York,
Where's your
that's
other leg?
normal.
Yeah,
In
right.
New York, that's not the exactly.
Except that if you just lost it, it'd be pretty fresh, and there would be signs of that.
Yeah, was there blood in the subway?
like a
Or was
stop
the
sign?
leg brought to the subway? Was the leg lost
See,
elsewhere?
that's a good question,
Yeah.
Mary. It was
Good question.
exactly. Otherwise, a whole bunch of blood on the subway is also not uncommon.
Right. I
Like
loved riding the subway
Gallons
in New
of
York.
blood, very similar.
You liked riding it?
Oh, I loved riding the subway. When I went to New York a couple years ago, there was two things. I went with one of my best friends. Two things I wanted to do. I wanted to ride in a taxi, and I wanted to get a hot dog off one of the stands on the side of the street. And she would not let me get a hot dog on the street. She's like, "You're going to get sick, and
No,
our
they're the
trip's going to be
best.
They're
ruined."
very, very good.
They're
We
so
eat them
good.
every day. That's what I'm
So
saying. I'm
good.
like, that guy's got a hot dog. I
She's
want
holding
one.
you back.
Who doesn't like street meat?
Button bar.
Who doesn't like street meat?
I mean, that's what they call it.
That's what they call
Ugh.
it.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
That's what they call me too, but that's what they also call hot dogs on the street.
That's right. Same thing.
Nice.
They have pretzel stands on the street in New York too.
Sure they do.
Sure,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That sounds okay.
Yeah, and a lot
Got
of
everything.
hot nuts
Whoa.
on the carts where they're it's like the cinnamon and sugar almonds, and you can
Yeah.
smell them for blocks.
You can
Those
smell
are so
nuts.
good.
Yeah.
Smell those nuts.
Well, then it must be
Marty
hockey.
doesn't care anymore. You don't even care anymore. You're just
care.
Tuesdays. You don't care. You button up a little bit on Fridays. Tuesday, you just don't even care anymore.
Nuts.
Didn't you have that in Colorado?
Oh,
Not just in Colorado.
She must.
My guess though is if you just buy pretzels on the street in New York, you don't get pretzel points, right? And you gotta have
Probably
that
not.
app. Gotta have that app.
Right now. NASA is looking for volunteers to spend a year in a simulated Mars habitat. The plan is for 4 people to live inside a 1,700 square foot simulation at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston. Those who end up inside will have to work to keep things running, to grow crops, and to work with robots. The mission is set for spring 2025. Applications are due by April 2nd of this year. To qualify, you must be a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident between the ages of 30 and 55 with at least a master's degree in engineering, math, or biology. I was good till that last one.
Dad?
We almost had a project for Zach, and then the degree thing came in.
So they're shipping you off to Mars, and not only that, are
Fake
you leaving
Mars.
Earth, but yeah, you have to work while you're there?
Yeah.
I'll pass.
It's fake Mars.
We already went over this. Space scares me. I'm out on that.
Don't you get the idea they do this all the time? This seems like something that's
Yeah.
always happening, but apparently not. Maybe
guess
I
not.
watch a lot of movies.
I wonder how nuts smell on Mars.
Okay.
Oh my God. Welcome.
Tommy
Hi, Zach-O.
Morning, everybody.
Marney.
That's the first thing he said. He just walked in the door.
How do nuts smell
Like
on Mars?
the Jay and
I bet
Silent Bob back
spacey.
in the day, right? Clerks.
Yeah.
You wait all movie for Silent Bob to say something, and then he says something super profound. We've been waiting an hour and 40 minutes for Zach to say something, and the first thing he said is, "I wonder how nuts smell on Mars."
I mean, I am curious too.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
Maybe the two of you
How
should
do you
go
want to go to
together.
Mars with me?
All right.
Yes.
Just leave us alone.
One of us has to bring
their
that.
innuendos.
The human
I know.
race is over if you two go to Mars together.
I think Halvey and I could survive.
Oh, well, I'm a good.
I'm going to bet 3 months mortgage the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of confidence.
You know what?
I would give up pretty quick.
No.
No, that's all we're talking about.
Halvey, you got to stay alive for me.
Life finds a way.
Yeah.
Fine.
We'd hear you.
How dare you? Don't say that. She's beautiful.
No,
He's good,
that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I think you are talking about that.
No.
Yep.
Well, I'm for sure going to Mars now.
Strippers rallied at Olympia, Washington on Monday to show support for a bill in the legislature that would require the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board to create new rules for how employees and customers can act and what workers can wear. Club workers hope the rules changed to allow alcohol to be served in their strip clubs. That would increase revenue and potentially decrease fees dancers have to pay. I stand with the strippers.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
So, Max, so this is
Usually said.
an area of expertise for you.
Indeed.
So help me with this. I would assume, all right, the guys that are in these clubs get drunker. You're probably going to get bigger tips, right? However, don't you get a lot more trouble, though?
Honestly,
I mean, how does it balance out?
people act a fool in the strip club no matter what. People go in there and it's like there's no rules. It's like it turns into professional wrestling or something. I've seen people do some of the weirdest things I've ever seen in a strip club. One time, a dude just walked in the middle of the day dressed fully as the Joker and started doing the weird little Joker dance like Joaquin Phoenix does. And we just had to let him, like we couldn't tell him to get out. I'm just like, what do we do? And just let him hang out, I guess. He's spending money. So
Did he tip well?
He did. Yeah, he actually did. He'd do his little Joker dance and then he'd sit down, throw some money, and then he'd go back. Do his little Joker dance.
As long as he didn't hurt anybody.
Was he sober?
I have no idea.
Chance.
They should have put him on stage.
No chance.
Yeah, once in the middle of the day, the old ladies could have used a break.
Did you play the song?
No, I didn't want to encourage that man at all.
That would have been great.
I don't think I played any music. He was dancing to silence.
You know what my thought on this is? I'm wondering right now, was that a stunt that he pulled? Or was that just a normal day for him?
It was like Kilt Guy in the antique store.
Right.
It's not a day.
Was that, as Corey said, was that their charge challenge punishment?
Well, that is the thing. There were guys that came in there and they had bits, basically. Like they had their own little bit and you just kind of let them do it. And honestly, like it's a lawless place anyway. I mean, literally while I was getting trained in, I saw a guy selling drugs and they're like, oh, well, if he's spending money, So I was... The craziest things are, I cannot imagine it getting any crazier. But, I mean, you throw alcohol into the mix, I'm sure it will.
If some guy walks into a strip club dressed as the Joker and then starts doing the Joker dance, I'm going to assume mass shooting.
I mean, I've seen that
Same.
movie. I'm not participating.
I was on my toes the whole time. I had my afro pick ready to just throw like a ninja star. I would have caught him right in the kneecap.
That'll do it.
Nice.
I don't think that'd have done it. No.
You want to come to Mars with Helby and I? We can use protection.
I'll be you guys' security.
There's one day a year I would feel safe when he walks in as the Joker. The other 364, I'm out of there.
Correct. Yeah. That's immediately like, all right, thanks for the lap dance. I have to go.
I like when you do your whole, new dealer.
I'm out. Yeah, I'm out.
All right.
What do you think, Marnie?
Yeah, Marnie, what do you think about the Joker in a strip club?
You yelled at her for the nuts joke. Now you want her input on this?
I didn't yell at anybody.
Yeah, I'd have to.
It sounds like the strip club is a place that allows everyone to be free.
Themselves.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen,
That
sister.
Marnes.
Should be a politician,
That Marnes. I'm just glad he didn't ask. You want to know how I got these scars?
Oh, dear God.
Rosie, go home.
Did the strippers ask that?
Oh, my. Giving birth to 12 kids.
What's happening today?
It was the middle of the day.
We are
I know
falling off the
I know
side.
Max didn't try to do it, but he sounded like that spelling bee kid, right?
Yeah, he did.
Language of origin, please.
This is one of those shows where
Definition, please.
Corey and Hockey are driving, and then every once in a while, somebody will just take the wheel and rip it into the ditch with some of these jokes. That joke led nowhere.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Here's the ditch.
Maxo, do your Joker impression again real quick.
Want to know how I got these scars?
Definition, please.
Do it again.
Which one was which?
Want to know how I got these scars?
What is its language of origin, please?
Sauce walks us through sports when we get back. Alexis breaks down the 10-7 win Wild over Vancouver right after this on The Fan.
The Fan.
And welcome back to the Power Trip. Final segment with our friend Alexis Pearson, who was nice enough to come in early this morning, talk about the Wild, which we'll talk more about in a moment. Marney Gellner is here. No Roser today. A little under the weather.
What happened?
But he'd like to say,
Hello, bud.
so I'm going to tell you guys hi.
Anything else?
Nope, that was it. Let him straighten up. Should we do some sports, though?
Yeah, man.
Sure.
It's time for Fan 5 on the Power Trip, presented by All Around Property Preservation.
All right, I'm going to go over what happened yesterday in the Wild game. I just have a bunch of random stats that I wrote down as they were happening, so they're not in quisential order.
Quisential order, and that's the title of the podcast.
I kind of like that
How do
word.
you
Try it
spell
again.
though?
Yeah, I was starting to type it.
Try it again.
Order. The Wild beat the Canucks.
What do you think he meant? Sequential?
Yeah, sequential,
I mean,
of course, yeah.
sequential.
That's what he meant.
Chronological, you could have gone, but you went
He went quisential.
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 Is that a
You think it
Q or a
was?
C?
I was just going to say that. Is it a KW?
Ooh.
A QU? What's quisential
Probably
in your mind?
Probably starts with a K.
Oh.
Yeah.
Quid.
It sounds like
Essential.
they're advertising a new sandwich at Burger King.
Oh, how good would that be?
Quisential order.
Would you eat one, Hawk?
Oh, I've got 3 of them already.
The Wild beat the Canucks 10-7. They trailed 5-2 with 5:30 left in the second when the scoring began. They scored 6 unanswered goals. 4 of them were power play goals. Zuccarello, Eriksson Ek scored twice, which gave him a hat trick. Rossi scored. Kaprizov also scored 2 goals. He got an empty netter at the end to give him the hat trick. Joel Eriksson Ek and Kirill Kaprizov both had 6 points, which tied for the most points in a game with 6. Marian Gaborik scored 6 points in a game twice in his Wild career. There were 3 hat tricks in the game. First time since 92, and that's the 4th time total in the expansion era of the NHL that there have been 3 hat tricks in a game. The Wild scored 4 goals in a span of 2 minutes and 17 seconds to erase that 5-2 deficit. Minnesota established a franchise record for fastest 4 goals that they scored. Sorry. I screwed up.
You're crushing it.
The Wild scored 7 goals in the third, which is a franchise record. 10 goals in a game is a franchise record. And the combined 17 is a combined record. Go ahead.
All of this, you might as well just be burping in my ear. It's too many stats. You're going too fast. I don't know what you're saying.
All right, I'll start
Would it have helped?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Would it be less confusing if they were not in quisential order? Or, I mean, is that part of the confusion?
Maybe that's what's getting me.
Let me do this in chronological order.
Brilliant. Go ahead.
They scored 7 goals in the third. That's a franchise record for goals in a period. 10 goals in a game, franchise record for goals in a game. Sauce mentioned the 4-goal stretch, fastest 4-goal stretch in team history, 2 minutes and 17 seconds. The other one that's huge, 6 goals in 5 minutes and 45 seconds. That's the fastest in the NHL in 25 years. 4th fastest ever.
Wow.
The stat about 3 hat tricks in the same game blows me away. If you would have asked, when has that been done before, I would have said never. And the fact that it
4 times in the
expansion era.
Yeah.
4 times there have been a game that 3 different players have scored 3. That just is,
the last time that it
seems so
happened?
unlikely.
The last time that it happened in 1992, it was the same team, too. 3 members of the Los Angeles Kings did it against San Jose. I think they won something like 11-2.
But that makes more sense to me, that a team was beating another team so badly that all 3 of those players were on the same team.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And as we mentioned, Alexis, the third hat trick yesterday was kind of a cheap one. You wonder if Vancouver, I don't know if the Wild and Vancouver play again this regular season. If they do.
No, they're done playing.
Okay, they're done. Because otherwise, 1.5 seconds to go and you're up 9-7.
Oh, I'd beat the crap out of them.
Right.
If I'm Vancouver, I'm like ready for that next game. I'm like, we're dropping the gloves, like,
and taking Kirill
puck
out.
drop. Yeah.
Because that's a cheap one, but we'll take it.
Well, no, they wouldn't take out Kirill. You'd have to answer the bell to someone else would stand up for Kirill, because we're not letting sweet baby Kirill get in a fight.
Right. So
we're
who fights
somebody else do it.
Who fights to
anybody?
That's
anybody
a good
else.
question nowadays with the Wild, with Maroon out and Foligno.
Foligno's out. Maybe Midzi. I don't know.
I guess, yeah.
Shoot, put Fleury in another fight. He was ready to fight, last season. Let's let him answer the bell.
Why don't you put one of those next-gen kids and let's play hockey?
Just spit on it.
Yeah, they're like, this game was fun, but I'm out if I got to fight somebody the next time. Yeah.
So your thoughts. You were there. Again, you said it's one of the most fun hockey games you've ever watched in your entire life.
One of the most fun sporting events, just from a pure entertainment level. There's been better games as far as like tense, nail-biter, playoff games. Like those games, there's been many that have been better in that regard. But just like the insanity of trying to wrap your head around what you're watching while it's happening. I mean, when the Wild scored 2 late period goals in both the first and the second period, which those can be really backbreaking goals. And I think we're all focused on the third period, as we should be. But getting a late first period goal, getting a late second period goal, you kept pushing. You get to the third period, and they scored the first goal early, and you're like, okay, we got a chance. It's 5-4, like we're hanging in there. And then you tie it up, and then you go ahead, and you're thinking, okay, well, now we really got a game. And then they scored that 7th and 8th goal, and I was like, what am I watching? And then you just felt like that wasn't it. Even though you're already at this insane score, you knew Vancouver was going to keep pushing. They're the best team in the league. Basically, everybody on that roster could score. And, of course, they do push. Even down to the final, that Kirill goal at the final second was still, in a way, like a relief, because it was, such a close game that it was just... It was crazy. I almost felt like we were going to go to overtime for a minute there when Vancouver pulled within a goal, and you're just sitting there and you're just like, okay, I mean, what is happening in this game? Insane. There's no other way to say it.
Total chaos, but unbelievably fun at least the final 20.
Fun for everybody except for Vancouver fans. Yeah.
I mean, Alexis, you were talking about where you felt this team was, back in December, and you had no hope of the playoffs. And I sort of felt like that at the beginning of the second period yesterday when it was 5-2, and it was like
for sure.
They took control. Like they put the game away early in the second period. A billion times other nights, it's over.
Yeah.
The game's over.
Yeah.
But they found the 1 in a billion game where they rallied their way back and did something they've never done before. And I hope those people in the stands enjoyed that show because they'll never see anything like that again.
The only bad thing about yesterday was Halvey and I were rooting for a very certain score to happen at a very certain time, and we didn't get it. And I told Halvey, if it happens, you have to retire the bit. You've got your unicorn.
It would have been done.
It would have been
8-6.
That would have almost been better than
Halvey was going to retire that bit.
No chance.
No way.
If we got, because again, the franchise record was 8. If they got to 9 when the Canucks had 6, man.
We were pulling for that.
It would have been 9-6.
You would have had to build a statue.
I don't get that bit.
We figured that.
That's your entire identity. You can't retire that bit.
It's a great line. Great line.
It's never going to get better than that. We were rooting for a 6-9 score with 1 minute and 9 seconds left.
Got it. By the way, I heard Zacho, I heard Joe O'Donnell the other day say 70 seconds left in the game. And I thought he's not learning from Zach.
Yeah.
He's 70.
He's more mature.
Give him time.
Let's see here. The Wild are now 26-23-6. They play Winnipeg tonight at 7. The Wolves are off until Friday when they battle the Bucks at Target Center at 9. But yesterday they signed Mike Conley Jr. to a 2-year extension worth $21 million, Marn.
Yeah, that was a great deal. Because just keeping Mike Conley around and with this team is very significant. And at that price, I mean, people were partying in the streets, honestly.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful price for Mike Conley, and because of what he does on the court, because of his leadership, his veteran presence, his ability to sort of mold Anthony Edwards. That was a tremendous, tremendous signing. I was not overly optimistic that we would be able to keep him after this season, just because of the financial situation with all the contracts. And so that was wonderful news to come out yesterday. And Mike Conley took a discount.
Yeah.
He loves this team. He loves this town. He loves this fans.
I love him too.
These fans. It was great news. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, of course.
You're welcome.
How cool is it, too, that a Wolves player is so happy to be in Minnesota that they're like, I'll take a deal. It's fine. I'll be here.
Yeah, that's
sounds good, man.
That's new.
Life is good.
Yeah, man.
Love him.
Hey, Alexis, because I know you have to go in a second or two because you have to go hit a dryer.
Yeah.
Hit a dryer?
Hit a dryer.
Oh.
PWHL is a thing.
It is.
And you do broadcasting for the PWHL.
Yeah.
And you just mentioned, I asked you off the air, I'm like, who are you broadcasting with? And you said Clay Matvick. I'm like, that's a name I hadn't heard in a while.
Yeah.
Clay Matvick, Marins. You must have overlapped with him back in the day.
Former coworker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we
Clay and
text every
Alexis.
once in a while, but I have not seen him in quite some time. How many?
Bad blood, huh?
No. How many games do the two of you call together?
So
a handful or
it's
all season?
All season. So it's a 24-game season, 12 at home, 12 on the road. We kind of, at times, there's another broadcaster mixed in, Julie Friend, who does some college hockey stuff. She's former Husky, go Huskies. But we are the main two. And at times she fills in for me.
She's great, too. I like her a lot.
Yeah, she's great. But we are the main pair. So he's fantastic. He makes my job easy. Everyone's like, how is it to work with him? I'm like, you work with a guy like that who's a pro's pro. He's done it well. Makes my job so much easier to stand next to him and know that he's going to, guide me through the game. And he just crushes it. I really enjoy working with him.
And he's one of us.
Yeah.
I believe he went to Princeton High School.
I actually don't know.
Is that
I think
right?
he did.
I love
I think he was
that
a
city.
Rum River Conference guy back in the day.
Oh.
Racetrack out there. It's nice. I like it.
I used to play Princeton all the time poorly in basketball.
That's okay.
Great guy, great broadcaster.
Yeah.
Please tell him I said
I
hello.
will see him Sunday. So
you're over
give
the
him my
bad
best.
blood?
Yeah. You don't want to fight him anymore?
I mean, one of
Guys are out of the gang
the
life.
last and best memories I have of Clay is him coming to my house on my 30th birthday party. Because
So
it
a
was
week ago?
correct. Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. It was epic to the point of one of my friends brought a wheelbarrow over so that we could have a fire, like a fire pit.
Vagina,
I didn't have
right?
one. And
It was
the
Vagina.
handles of the wheelbarrow kept lighting on fire. So we had a pitcher of water out there. I mean, it was very under control. But Clay was there and just people knew he was there. He's a fun guy. He's awesome. A great guy. Yeah. He's
really good at what he does.
I think very highly of him. I wish I could see him more. I wish I could cross paths with him.
Was there anything other than alcohol at that party?
Yeah.
A wheelbarrow, she just said.
Yeah. Well, it was the 80s. So
it was.
Is anybody doing that ooh-wee?
It was early October, so I do remember providing my guests with a lot of Halloween individually, like fun bags of M&Ms?
Yeah, fun bags.
On your M&Ms.
You provided all your guests with your fun bags.
Wow.
Why was I not invited? Yeah.
What a party. No wonder Clay showed up in a wheelbarrow.
And no wonder you haven't seen him since.
I got a trick or treat at your house, Martz.
Okay.
Sounds like a rager showing up and getting handed candy when you're walking in the door.
Back in the 80s.
Drop your keys here. Pick some candy up here.
What?
What'd you say?
He's planning a party back there.
What?
Yeah,
He didn't know
he's
his mic
texting
was on.
Tommy.
Barnes, you're the best. All right, Alexis, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
The day after
I'd
an
leave
epic
my
win.
vacation early anytime for you guys.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Man,
Man, how was that, by
Jamaica.
the way?
It was so
beautiful.
fun.
I got to
Yeah.
go there one of these days. I hear so much great stuff.
It was lovely.
It looks sick.
Yeah.
Man, all right. All right, so where can they follow you on social media?
At Alexis Mariana, Mirjana. Follow me wherever I just talk hockey, basically.
Got it. All right. Marnes, you have an hour and a half with us. No Rosie, though. No Rosie. And the return of In the Box today. How about that?
Is that
In the
right?
Box coming back later.
Wow.
Sauce
And
going in
I
the
think
box.
everybody wrote jokes.
And I assume everybody wrote jokes for the news segment that Chad Abbott loves.
Apparently
Only
the
Marnie?
people do too.
Only Marnie?
I don't know. When I got here and I went in the room with Hawk and
Yeah.
Max and I said, "Hey, Tuesday, everybody write jokes," and they immediately both went to their computers
Yeah,
and
they
were like,
forgot.
"Yeah, there you go."
We got time, baby. Thanks, Alexis.
Bye. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
More with Marney Gellner after this on The Fan.
Minneapolis, St. Paul, The Fan.
7:39 now, and it's the Power Trip, and there's Marty Gellner.
Is this Rise?
No, this would be Chris Hockey Band, but it's just the music track, just the music bed. That's all it is. Yeah, man.
Are you going to come in?
No. I just this is just the music
No,
bed.
he's going to stay there.
I'll stay
They
right.
have the week off?
Yes.
What are you doing with your time off?
Well,
Enjoying life?
Yes.
that ooh-wee?
I'm going to
Doing
Fargo.
that lean?
Going to Fargo for a couple of days to see the folks.
Oh,
It's shocking how fast it goes and how like I was going to do this and this and I was going to paint that and clean that and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, when I get back it's going to be and then I have to work. So
yeah. I feel you.
not a lot, but I did enjoy a nice weekend with a couple of dinners with friends and
Oh, thanks
just,
for the invite.
No, come on.
She said friends.
Weekend of kids' sports as well?
Yes. Yeah. We were in Blaine over the weekend. Finley had a youth basketball, 8th grade basketball tournament.
And?
It's
How'd she do?
Oh, come on.
you know, they lost a couple, they won a couple.
Was it her
but
fault?
It is.
Gotta
And
get
is she
The
listening?
wins were her fault.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
We have next weekend so this weekend is their state tournament. And that's it. She will be in 9th grade next year. So the life that we've lived of, travel sports or youth sports, however you want to label it. We've played in-house, we've done all that, but this is it.
Yep. Big time now.
It's crazy. Because then her spring sport, softball, there is no 7th or 8th grade team. Everybody goes to the 9th grade team. So I'm not bragging when I say she plays up on the 9th grade team, but it is a high school situation. So youth travel basketball. And I have people tell me all the time, will comment on a post or something, be like, man, those were the best days. What a great time of life. Just watching your kids, hanging out with the parents after a tournament type stuff. And it has been wonderful. And I can't believe we're at the end of that road that I would always hear people talk about. And I'd be like, yeah. But we're busy. You're busy and you got an 8 a.m. start. Ask Burb. Have you ever talked to Burb about
No.
the tournament
No,
she's
she
got to
hates
go
us.
to in
She hates us.
Sartell at an 8 a.m. tip-off because Big O's got a game and she's got to get up at 6 on a Saturday and she loves it.
Yeah.
But that is a difficult part of your life too. And then it's also the most awesome part.
It's the best because
And then you're done.
You're together. You know what I mean?
Together.
Right,
Yes,
together.
you're
It's
all in the
best.
car. Yep, you packed some snacks. There may be a hotel once or twice a year. Like, it is a wonderful time of life.
Best time of life, no doubt.
Not ready to move on.
Nope, me neither.
Well, time is a flat circle.
That's what they say, but it doesn't help.
Mars, can we do a little more sports? I have an actual sports question for you because this is something I think you probably have an opinion on, and I would like to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You're familiar with the NBA All-Star Game, correct?
Yes. Yep.
For about the last, let's say the last close to 20 years, there's been almost no defense.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
In the 90s, they played some defense. They tried, right? They took a little pride in it. But I'd say maybe 15, 20 years, no defense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This year, Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, was confident that the players got the message and we were going to see a, quote, competitive game. And then we got the least competitive game we have ever seen, and people are pissed. So it's not like...
And somebody scored 211 points.
Right, and Kat scored 50 and somehow was an MVP because somehow the winner of the game matters. Anyway, so it's not like the no defense thing happened this year for the first time. That's not new. But the backlash this year was, I think, bigger than almost ever. When even the commissioner's like, this sucks. What do you do with the NBA All-Star Game when it seems so broken that the players do not care because they realize there's nothing in it for them to play in the game? They want the honor, they want the money, but the actual game itself, they have no interest in trying. So how does that work? What do you do with that game?
I mean, maybe it's a total restructuring of there is no game. There is just sort of a showcase of talents and photos and meet and greets. And I honestly don't have a great answer for it, but I am not mad at the players. And I feel like there are a lot of people who are very frustrated and it's unwatchable. And well, yeah, it might be unwatchable, but I'm not mad at them because what they do throughout the course of a season is a lot. And what we ask of them, and the Wolves just played 3 games in 4 nights leading into the All-Star game. For example, this is their week off. If you had told me on my week off right now on the All-Star break that I had to work on a few of these days and I was expected to work hard, don't just cash it in. I'd be like, but it's my week off. So I get it. And it sounds like they are collectively all on the same page. Adam Silver is on a different page, but I'm not mad at the players and I understand their situation. I don't feel bad for them. I'm not saying that like, well, they should make more money. I get it. I get it. They get paid to do this, but they don't get paid to have to work their A's off on defense in an exhibition game. If they're also trying to win a championship, it's just, it's a recipe for non-success and it's got to change, or else we just have to be okay with a 240 to 220 final score.
Who cares though? I mean, really, honestly.
I think maybe Adam Sandler needs to figure out to either, or Adam Silver needs to not care, or change the game in a way that it's just like a half and everybody plays 10 minutes or some just random. It's not a game. Maybe that's the problem, is that it's the same amount of time and the same amount of people. And so therefore it's a game, but it doesn't look like anything like the games we see throughout the year. But it is broken right now. If you want to see a game and you're going to be mad, it is hard to watch though.
It's unwatchable.
Just standing. But again, I don't mind that they're taking it off. It's their week off.
And then the Saturday night stuff though is very cyclical, right? A year ago, we heard Mac McClung had saved the dunk contest. And then this year, it's dunk contest is broken, it's done. It's like a year ago, he saved it, and now it's over.
Him jumping over Shaq was sweet.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then whoever, Allie LaForce, I think, asked him right afterwards, right on the court, will you be back next year? And he was like,
what else
I got to think. I'm like, you're in the G League.
He's in the G League. He's got nothing to do.
Of course you're doing this again.
Look, this is his legacy. He's not going to be a consistent NBA player.
No.
Absolutely.
Your legacy is as many dunk titles as possible.
Yeah.
Just keep jumping over tall people. Again, jump over Wemby next year.
Yeah,
and then find the tallest man on the planet, who's probably like what, 8 feet tall. Yeah. Jump over him next.
Yeah, the guy's 8'6", I think.
Jesus,
I saw a story about him the other day. Have you seen that before?
Where does he live?
Yeah, that's a huge.
Yeah,
I think he's in Iraq or something like that.
That's a huge bitch.
So. Jump over him.
So somewhere in the Middle East.
Yeah, something like that. Enormous. Sorry.
Freak! Oh, that's mean.
Oh.
What is?
27 games to go in the regular season, Marnes, for your squad. And they got the Drunken Scotties on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Come right out of the break with a back-to-back. It is a home back-to-back, so that does factor in. You don't have to get on a flight, check into a hotel, do all those things. But Milwaukee and Brooklyn, yes, right out of the gate. We have something like 7 or 8 back-to-backs left.
And 7 home games in a row, correct? Don't they have 7 straight to start the post-All-Star break? Something like that.
And then a long road trip, but it's kind of nice to just keep them in chunks like that as opposed to bouncing back and forth from home to road. But man, I mean, it's going to be a sprint to the finish, and it's going to be so much fun. We're coming out of the All-Star break with a first-place team. And they built a little cushion. 1.5 games over the Thunder. 2 games over the Clippers. 3 games over the Nuggets. I think those 4 teams are all going to be there until the end, and it's going to shake out, and it's going to be close. But isn't that fun?
It's sweet.
Isn't that awesome to think about the next couple of months, every Timberwolves game being important?
Well, what did we hear 2 months ago? It doesn't matter until Christmas. Well, here we are 2 months after Christmas, and they're still in first place. It's got to mean something. And it's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, can't wait.
So much fun.
9 p.m., though?
No.
Not going to work.
That's 3 hours after your bedtime.
Oh, yeah, especially on a Friday. I'm long in bed, yeah. They haven't played a 6 o'clock game in like 2 weeks.
That is really nice.
Oh, a 6 o'clock meeting on the road.
Or 6 or 7 or whatever. Yeah. Like a normal time game.
Yeah, we had all 3 games in 4 nights last week were West Coast time. The first one in LA started at 9:30.
Yeah.
Which is what you get. That's LA. There's no getting around it. But we've got a Tuesday, a week from today, Sauce, Feb 27 against San Antonio. A home game, 6:30 tip.
Hell yeah.
The following night, home game, Memphis, 6:30 tip. Then Sacramento on Friday, a 7 o'clock tip. And Sunday, LA Clippers at Target Center, 2:30 in the afternoon because there's no football to compete with.
Now we're talking about it.
Hell yeah.
It's time for Vikings news on the Power Trip, presented by
Redco. Let's go, Redco. We love you.
So last week on the Power Trip Morning Show, Mark Rosen said he would like Antoine Winfield Jr. on this team, especially if Harrison Smith leaves. Then he also compared Tyler Nubin of the Gophers to Antoine Winfield Jr. However, according to ProFootballTalk.com, the headline says the Bucs are more likely to use the franchise tag on Antoine Winfield Jr. than Baker Mayfield. So it sounds like Antoine's just not going to be on the market anyway, even if you wanted to throw a bunch of money at him, which I don't feel like the Vikings are in the position to do so when you're trying to sign JJ and maybe Kirk and maybe Daniil. I don't think you can throw a gigantic number at a safety like Antoine Winfield Jr. when you have Bynum and Metellus and whatever we have going with Harrison Smith. I don't think safety is even remotely an option, but he's a big name and he's got the Antoine Winfield Sr. connection. But it looks like he's staying in Tampa.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you?
Yep. Sauce, I think it was maybe you that tweeted it yesterday. There was maybe not a rumor. I didn't check this though. Is it true that Justin Fields unfollowed the Bears and you tweeted something like it's happening?
Yeah, he unfollowed the Bears, and a lot of people, I think basically Pelissero, when he was on with us on Friday, said that, because a lot of these big time free agents are going to be franchised, that there should be a lot of trades leading up. And with the Combine a week from today, that's where I think the start of Justin Fields being traded will begin.
Again, according to ProFootballTalk.com, via Albert Breer of SI, the Bears expect to have a plan in place regarding quarterback by next week. So whether they're going to trade Justin Fields or trade the number 1 pick, I'm a little surprised they don't already have a plan, but according to him, they're going to have a plan in place by next week. Marnie, your hands up.
If Sauce tweeted it's happening, Does that mean he used the gif of Michael Scott in The Office?
Of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
When everybody running
Such
to
a
The
great
Office
bit.
and he's like, it's happening.
It's such a great bit.
It's so good.
I think the other thing with Justin Fields that Vikings fans need to watch is where he goes. Because if he goes to Atlanta, which a lot of people are kind of connecting the dots that he will, that takes a spot where Kirko might go. So watching the Justin Fields trade market is a big thing if you're a Vikings fan. So, yeah.
Sauce, 11 hours ago, you tweeted, if you were the Vikings, would you trade pick 42 for Justin Fields? And it was a Twitter poll.
Yeah.
And the options were yes, no, and who watches Tracker?
Hawk said it was great.
It's a great show.
Yeah. He said the first. Have you seen the second episode yet?
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
I don't think
That's
I quite
for Hawk.
got the whole thing. It was a pretty complicated story.
Hawk clicks on that. I do that for Hawk.
47% said they would give up pick 42 for Fields. 41% said no. 12% said who watches Tracker.
Yeah. What would you do? You're not watching Tracker.
I'd vote no then.
Yeah.
But you stand by that poll?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you.
We also talked about earlier that the salary cap is expected to go up to around $250 million in 2024.
Yeah, which is good for a lot of teams. It's good for the Vikings because I think it puts them currently at like $37.5 million in salary cap. Calorie sap was I about to say. Mm-hmm. And I think if you listen to PA, and he's basically talked about how the GM of this team was brought in here to get this team younger and get them more salary cap, and he's doing that.
If I listened to PA, my wife would be in a bathtub right now drinking wine, and I would be reading her 50 Shades of Grey.
Ain't so bad.
Yeah. Hawk and my dad are doing that on my dad's birthday today.
Yep.
What book are you reading?
Happy birthday, Lawyer Lambert.
What book are you going to read doing?
Charlie Brown's Christmas.
Why?
He finds it sexual. I don't know. He's a weird dude, man.
Yeah, he's into Big Pen.
Hockey's his Big Ben.
Oh,
Sauce, 1 hour ago, you tweeted, happy birthday to my wonderful dad at Lawyer Lambert.
Stand by.
I'll stand by you. I'll stand
74 today.
that's only going to be like 30, I thought.
No.
It was a weather joke.
No, I know.
You look confused. I
didn't. I just, sometimes, I'm not as quick as you are. Sometimes I have to calculate a little bit slower. You're like an Apple laptop. I'm like a DOS Windows 95.
You got a floppy disk.
Yeah, yeah. My processor isn't as fast as yours.
Yeah, you can take some Bluetooth chewables, though.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think the other thing with the Vikings news from yesterday is the Albert Breer report about how, according to him, the Vikings are not willing to give Kirk Cousins a fully guaranteed contract. I think that should be a massive story. I think that's their way of getting into the media that they are going to move on. He's always taken a guaranteed contract. He's going to get a guaranteed contract from one of these teams.
Yeah.
Right, Hawk? I mean, you think so, right?
I'm sad to say I agree with it. I know. But everything's a negotiating ploy at this point.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah, correct.
Who knows? But man, I sure hope it works out, man. I just can't even think, Corey. I don't know how I'm going to be excited about going into the season unless something crazy happens at the draft. If we don't have him as our quarterback, I don't know what other option would make me excited about the season.
Well, again, nothing's more exciting in the NFL than the unknown at quarterback. Think of how jacked we got for Jaron Hall or the unknown of Josh Dobbs. So if you have a J.J. McCarthy or somebody like that at pick 11 and no Kirk, that would be super exciting just to see what we got.
Yeah.
Now, Zach would be very thrilled about that. I still want Kirk for 2 years and draft. I'm still in that camp, right? If you want Kirk gone or if you want to re-sign Kirk, I'm still right in the middle. I want Kirk for a couple of years as we draft a quarterback as well.
Yeah.
The nightmare scenario is neither.
Yeah.
Right? Kirk's out the door. You draft some defensive player at 11, and then you have absolutely nothing at quarterback, and you have to panic.
Or it's Sam Darnold.
Right.
Because what I think the process
that's no fun.
That's going to happen
It'd
is
be a rough year.
The Vikings are going, if Kirk moves on, which according to ESPN, they did all the top 50 free agents and the best fit for the free agent. Kirk Cousins' best fit, Atlanta Falcons.
Hey, if let's say that scenario takes place, if Kirk doesn't resign, they
with
don't,
your hand.
Well, sure, technically, if you want to sign by hand. If you don't draft a quarterback.
With your mouth? Oh, my God.
Right, you don't announce it. And then they sign Sam Darnold, who's a name I have not heard.
No.
But Tom Pelissero's very plugged in.
Yeah, he might.
I haven't personally heard the name Sam Darnold.
No.
And I call everybody. But I haven't heard Sam Darnold. But let's say somebody like Tom, who does reporting, heard that name.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kwesi's in huge trouble. If you come into the year with Sam Darnold, I think the Wolves are going, what are we doing with our GM?
I think he's in huge trouble if that is the option. I think if 2 weeks from now, when it will all kind of have an idea because it's a week out from free agency, we will know a lot more after the combine because that's where they go out. That's where they start talking about all this. It's, as Florio put it on Pro Football Talk, it's the legal tampering situation, right? But I think the problem that they're going to have is if they get a Sam Darnold, they have to find their way to a top 5 or 6 pick because there's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks. You cannot go into the season with a non-rookie quarterback in Sam Darnold. That's where they're in trouble.
Yep.
If they go into the season with Sam Darnold and Drake May or McCarthy or Bo Nix,
that's fine.
Right. But you got to then move. You got to then know that you're going to have to move up in the draft. You can't just sit at 11 and wait.
I like you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like you too.
I like when you guys let me talk football. I like football. I've had like 4 cups of coffee. That was really good. I'm just saying. Mouth? Yeah, they're in trouble. Sam Darnold is fine if McCarthy or Daniels or Drake May is on the roster.
Sure.
Nice job.
Paul, I thought you did well.
But the guaranteed money thing is a big deal.
Guaranteed money?
He's out. Guaranteed money.
But it's a big deal in the JJ contract as well. Not fully guaranteed, but I bet he wants a ton of it guaranteed.
And he should. Yeah. He helps with
Not TJ McCarthy. Calm down, Zach. I mean Justin Jefferson.
Oh, okay.
Would you go to
what? Maybe give him some.
The Friday after the draft, if JJ McCarthy is going to be at the Buffalo Wild Wings with PN Charge, do you go?
Yeah. Champagne.
Okay. Tommy's texting you.
Sure is.
The 8 o'clock hour of the Power Trip Morning Show will feature the return of In the Box. We'll do Fan 5. We'll do headlines. Lots to get to between now and 9 o'clock. And Marnie wrote some jokes.
Yeah! I did too. Oh, nice!
Hey, I got one.
The people have spoken. They want the jokes.
With your mouth?
Yes!